Hello, I'm Dr. David Miller. I'm 60 years old, and I've spent more than 3 decades working side by side with people in their 50s, 60s, and beyond to help them protect and improve their health. Have you ever been sound asleep, only to be jolted awake by a fierce leg cramp? That sudden tightening in your calf, the pain so sharp it forces you to sit up and massage it, yet the ache still lingers. Believe me, I've had hundreds of patients come to me with the same complaint. And I know all too well, at this stage in life, our bodies aren't quite as forgiving as they used to be. But here's the thing, sometimes the solution isn't in a pill bottle. Sometimes it's right there on your kitchen table. Today, I want to share with you 5 simple, everyday foods that can completely change the way you deal with muscle cramps, especially those that strike at night. It might sound simple, but stick with me until the end of this video, because I believe you'll walk away seeing your dinner plate in a whole new light. Part 1. Nuts and Seeds, the anti-inflammatory shield for stronger muscles. Have you ever been jolted awake in the middle of the night by a sharp, twisting cramp tearing through your calf? That feeling like someone is pulling a rope tight around your muscle until it can barely breathe. I've had so many patients describe it to me exactly like that. And trust me, no matter who you are, it's not a pleasant experience. I remember not long ago, Margaret, age 68, a patient of mine, came into my clinic with tired legs and dark circles under her eyes. She said, "Doctor, I get cramps every single night. They hurt so much I could cry. I'll just start to drift off, and then suddenly, I'm up again from the pain." When I asked about her diet, she told me that dinner was usually light, sometimes just bread or a bit of soup, and she rarely thought about getting enough minerals. So when I suggested she try adding a handful of nuts to her routine, she was surprised. She never imagined that something as small as almonds, pumpkin seeds, or pistachios could make such a big difference. I want you to picture it this way. Every time you eat a handful of nuts, you're sending tiny but powerful soldiers into your body. Almonds carry magnesium to help your muscles relax. Pumpkin seeds bring potassium to keep your muscle rhythm steady. And pistachios deliver energy to feed even the smallest muscle fibers. Together, they stand guard quietly, making sure no sudden cramp interrupts your sleep. Science has proven that magnesium is essential for muscles to relax after contracting. Without enough magnesium, your muscles become oversensitive and more likely to spasm. Potassium helps nerve signals travel smoothly to your muscles, like driving on a smooth road instead of one full of potholes. And don't forget, nuts are also rich in healthy fats, especially omega-3, which reduce inflammation and improve blood circulation. Good circulation means your muscles get enough oxygen and nutrients, so they don't scream in the middle of the night from energy starvation. I know many people think, oh, nuts are just a snack. But the truth is, for those over 50, they can be an important part of your health armor. At this age, our bodies don't produce or absorb nutrients as efficiently as before. We naturally lose muscle mass, a process called sarcopenia, and we're more prone to electrolyte imbalances, especially if we take diuretics, blood pressure medication, or have a diet that isn't varied enough. I often tell my patients, treat a handful of nuts each day like a natural multivitamin. It's not just about nutrition, it's about building a healthy habit. You can add pumpkin seeds to your morning oatmeal, sprinkle almonds over your lunch salad, or simply snack on pistachios while watching television in the evening. There's something satisfying about that crunch, knowing you're nourishing your body at the same time. Here's another bonus. The antioxidants in nuts, like vitamin E, selenium, and polyphenols, act like tiny cleanup crews inside your body. They sweep away free radicals, reducing inflammation in muscles and nerves. That's especially important for anyone with chronic pain or arthritis, because inflammation doesn't just cause discomfort, it also makes your muscles more likely to cramp. I'll never forget when Margaret came back after 6 weeks of following my advice, eating a handful of nuts daily, rotating between almonds, pumpkin seeds, and walnuts. She walked into my office smiling. "Doctor, I've been sleeping through the night lately. No cramps waking me up anymore. It's like my life has completely changed." Hearing that made me happy. Not because I had fixed her, but because she had taken back control of her health with a small, consistent change. I'm sharing her story so you'll understand. Good health doesn't always require complicated or expensive solutions. Often, it's about listening to your body, giving it what it needs, and doing it every single day. Something as small as a handful of nuts could be the key to ending those painful nighttime cramps and, more importantly, keeping your legs strong so you can keep walking, exploring, and enjoying life. So, can you start today? Next time you're at the store, stop by the nut aisle and pick up a bag of your favorites. And when you eat that first handful, remember you're doing something kind for yourself. It's a gift your body will thank you for years to come. Because at this stage of life, health isn't just about living longer. It's about living comfortably, without being interrupted by sudden pain. And I believe you deserve exactly that. Part 2. Eggs, the secret weapon against leg cramps. Have you ever noticed that sometimes the solution to a big problem is sitting right there in your own kitchen? Take eggs, for example. They're so simple, so ordinary, that most people barely give them a second thought. But in my experience, they've been a secret weapon that's helped hundreds of my patients get relief from those frustrating, sleep-stealing leg cramps, especially the ones that hit in the middle of the night. I remember one visit from Henry, aged 72, a patient of mine. He came in and said, "Doc, I walk every day. I stay hydrated. But almost every night I'm jolted awake by cramps. When it happens, the pain is so sharp I want to yell." I asked, "Henry, what do you usually have for breakfast?" He laughed. "Oh, just a cup of black coffee and a slice of bread. Quick and easy." I nodded, then asked, "When's the last time you had eggs in the morning?" He paused, thought about it, and said, maybe a month ago." You see, many people think of eggs as just a breakfast filler. But from a doctor's perspective, I see them as a completely natural multivitamin. Inside that small shell is high-quality protein, exactly what your muscles need to maintain and repair themselves. And once you're past 50, preserving muscle mass becomes even more important because our bodies start losing it more quickly. Then there's vitamin D, something most older adults are lacking, especially if they don't get much sunday. Vitamin D doesn't just keep your bones strong. It's like the conductor of an orchestra, coordinating muscle contraction and relaxation. Without enough of it, your muscles can become tight and prone to sudden cramps. Just one egg in the morning can give your body a helpful dose of vitamin D, setting you up for more relaxed muscles and a calmer night's sleep. And let's not forget vitamin B12 nourishment for your nervous system. I often compare B12 to the insulation around an electrical wire. Without it, the signals from your brain to your muscles can become weak or erratic, leading to tingling, numbness, or uncontrolled cramps. As we age, our ability to absorb B12 drops significantly. So eating eggs regularly is an easy, effective way to keep those levels up. I often tell my patients, eggs don't just feed your body, they feed your sleep. When you have a light dinner with a poached or boiled egg, you're giving your muscles the building blocks they need to repair after a long day. And you're sending a signal to your nervous system. It's okay to relax now. Henry took my advice. He started having one egg every morning, and sometimes another at dinner. 6 weeks later, he came back with a bright smile and said, "Doc, I'm sleeping so much better. Last night was the third night in a row without a single cramp. I feel like I've turned back the clock." What I want you to take away from this is simple. You don't always need expensive supplements or complicated treatments. Sometimes, just returning to natural, familiar foods like eggs can give your body the boost it's been waiting for. So tomorrow morning, when you're in your kitchen, try boiling an egg. Sit down, peel back that thin shell, feel the warmth in your hands, and remember you're doing something good for your legs, your sleep, and your whole journey toward better health. Part 3. Fatty Fish, Nature's Omega-3 Factory. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Sometimes the cramps you feel aren't just about a muscle tightening up. They can actually be your body's way of whispering, sometimes shouting, that there's a slow-burning fire inside you. In medical terms, we call it chronic inflammation. And by the time you're in your 50s, 60s, or 70s, that fire often creeps in quietly, without warning. I've seen many patients who not only deal with cramps, but also have aching joints, stiff knees every morning, and that heavy, a reluctant feeling when they try to get out of bed, like their legs are protesting every step. And when I dig a little deeper, I find they almost never eat fatty fish, the omega-3 and vitamin D powerhouses I like to call the body's natural repair factory. Think about salmon, mackerel, sardines. Not only are they delicious, they're packed with omega-3 healthy fats that work like lubrication for your joints and muscles. Omega-3 helps put out the flames of inflammation, improve blood circulation, and make sure every muscle cell gets the oxygen and nutrients it needs. When your circulation is strong, your muscles are less stiff, less likely to seize up, especially at night, when your body temperature naturally drops. I remember Elaine, aged 65, a patient who came to me with stiff hands and calves that twitched almost every night. She told me she'd always eaten red meat, rarely touching fish. I suggested she make a small change. Eat salmon twice a week and add sardines or mackerel once a week. 3 months later, she came back, held my hand, and said, "Doctor, I don't get night cramps anymore. My knees hardly hurt at all. I can walk around the lake with my granddaughter without needing to stop and rest." Science backs this up. Omega-3 reduces the production of inflammation-causing compounds in the body, and it helps keep your cell membranes healthy so nerve signals travel smoothly. Vitamin D from fatty fish maintains bone density, supports a strong musculoskeletal system, and helps prevent falls or fractures, things we need to be mindful of as we age. Now, I know some people worry about the fishy taste or aren't sure how to prepare it. But trust me, a fillet of salmon, lightly seared in olive oil, with a squeeze of lemon, or a can of sardines served with whole grain bread, can be both simple and satisfying. And on a chilly day, a warm bowl of mackerel soup not only warms your belly, it can keep your legs feeling warm and relaxed through the night. Fatty fish isn't an instant miracle. It's more like a patient friend, quietly helping you day after day, until one morning you realize, I haven't been woken up by cramps in a long time. So if fatty fish isn't yet part of your week, I want you to give it a try. Let omega-3 and vitamin D be your allies, keeping your joints supple, your muscles relaxed, and bringing back the joy of walking with steady, confident steps. Part 4. Bananas, your electrolyte balancer. Some things in life are so simple, we often overlook them until the day we realize they might just be the answer we've been searching for. Bananas, that bright yellow fruit sitting quietly on your counter, are one of those humble heroes. I still remember Ruth, aged 70, a patient who told me she woke up almost every night with leg cramps, usually around 3 a.m. She said, "Doctor, I drink plenty of water, but the cramps keep coming. I just don't understand why. When I asked about her diet, it became clear. She was getting almost no potassium or magnesium, two minerals that keep muscles and nerves working in harmony. So I suggested something incredibly simple. Ruth, about an hour before bed, eat one banana, drink a glass of water, and add just a pinch of mineral-rich salt. Why a banana? Because inside, you'll find potassium, the key that opens and closes your muscle cells so they can contract and relax properly. Without enough potassium, nerve signals get messy, and your muscles may suddenly fire off without warning. Bananas also carry magnesium, potassium's perfect partner, to calm the nervous system and help muscles unwind. And then there's vitamin B6, which nourishes the delicate connection between your brain and muscles so every movement feels smooth and controlled. I often tell my patients to think of potassium and magnesium as two skilled workers. One runs the electrical system, the other keeps the machinery running quietly. If either one takes the day off, the whole factory, your body starts having problems. Eating a banana is like bringing both workers back on the job at the same time. Just 2 weeks after making the change, Ruth came back smiling. Doctor, I'm sleeping straight through the night. I even have a banana in the afternoon now, just because it makes me feel good. I could tell she wasn't just happy about the cramps going away, she was thrilled to have her peaceful sleep back. You can enjoy bananas in so many ways. Eat one plain, slice it over a bowl of oatmeal, blend it into a smoothie with plain yogurt, or just peel and savor it slowly before bedtime. The key is making it a part of your daily rhythm, so your body always has the fuel it needs. Some people worry about the sugar in bananas. I usually reassure them. If you pair it with fiber or protein, like a few nuts or a scoop of plain Greek yogurt, the sugar will absorb more slowly and won't cause sharp blood sugar spikes. It's all about balance. To me, bananas symbolize simplicity and reliability. They don't shout for attention, they're affordable. And yet, they quietly protect your legs from those nighttime surprises. They're like a loyal friend, always there when you need them, asking for nothing in return except that you remember them each day. So if you had cramps last night, put a bunch of bananas on your kitchen counter today. And tonight, before you head to bed, peel one, take a slow bite, and wash it down with a sip of water. Tomorrow morning, you might just wake up pleasantly surprised, refreshed, and without the memory of any midnight pain. Part 5. Dark leafy greens. Your magnesium and calcium reserve. Have you ever noticed that some of the best things for your body come straight from nature, often in the simplest forms? Take dark leafy greens, spinach, kale, collard greens. You've probably walked past them dozens of times in the grocery store without much thought. But these humble greens are actually a treasure chest of nutrients your muscles and bones are craving, especially as you get older. I remember Samuel, aged 66, a retired carpenter, coming to see me with stiff shoulders and calves that cramped at night. He said, "Doc, I drink milk all the time, but my bones still feel weak and my muscles ache." When I asked about vegetables, especially leafy greens, he chuckled, "I'm a meat guy. I don't do much salad." I gently explained, "Milk gives you calcium, yes, but your body also needs magnesium to help that calcium actually get into your bones, and vitamin K to make sure it stays there. Without magnesium and vitamin K, calcium can end up wandering into your blood vessels instead of strengthening your skeleton." Dark leafy greens are loyal suppliers of that vital trio. Magnesium to help muscles relax, calcium to keep bones strong, and vitamin K to guide minerals to the right place. When you eat a plate of spinach or kale, you're sending your body a quiet message. It's okay. Rest, repair, recover. And there's more. Greens are packed with powerful antioxidants, the bodyguards that fight oxidative stress. Think of oxidative stress as fatigue at the cellular level, tired, overworked muscle fibers that are more likely to misfire and cramp. Lowering that stress means calmer, less jumpy muscles. One thing I love about greens is their versatility. You can saute them lightly with garlic, toss them into a salad with olive oil, or blend them into a smoothie. I once had a patient, Linda, aged 63, who started every morning with a green smoothie made from spinach, banana, and chia seeds. She told me, "Since I started, my cramps are gone, my skin looks better, and I feel more energetic." I know not everyone falls in love with greens right away, but when you understand that they're not just a side dish, they're part of your body's maintenance plan, it changes how you see them. These greens aren't just feeding your muscles and bones, they're protecting you from those small but frustrating disruptions, from cramps to bone loss. So next time you're at the store, walk over to the produce section and pick up a bunch of those deep green leaves. Wash them, cook them, however you like, and when you take that first bite, remember you're investing in steady legs, peaceful nights, and a future where you can move freely without being held back by sudden pain. Because at this stage of life, health isn't just about not being sick. It's about the freedom to go anywhere, anytime, with light steps and a calm mind. You see, these 5 foods aren't exotic, and they're not expensive. But if you eat them regularly, they can help free you from those painful cramps and keep your legs strong, steady, and flexible. Now, I want to hear your story. Do you often get leg cramps at night? And out of the 5 foods I've just shared, which ones have you tried? Leave a comment below and tell me about your experience, or share your own tips. Who knows, your story might be exactly what someone else out there needs to hear. And if you found this video helpful, give it a like so I know you're still here with me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so every week we can sit down together and talk about health, aging gracefully, and living each day with energy and joy. I'm Dr. David Miller, wishing you a peaceful night's sleep and a tomorrow full of vitality.